Provost Neiman, will you please escort Deborah Gray White to the podium? Provost Neiman, please read the citation.
Distinguished alumna and influential historian, you continue to shape the field with your forward-thinking articles and books that speak to both professionals in your field and the broader community. Your work on issues of identity takes us beyond stereotypes and allows us to better understand the complexity of the intersections of race, class, gender, and sexuality. For all these accomplishments, as well as those to come, the State University of New York is proud to present you with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, State University of New York, May 16th, 2014.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State University Board of Trustees, with the faculty of the State University of New York concurring, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, and invest you with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. In token thereof, I hand you this diploma and vest you with the appropriate hood to your degree. It's all yours.
I'd like to thank President Stenger and Provost Neiman for bestowing this honor. I'd like to congratulate all of the doctoral recipients today. Over 40 years ago, I arrived on the campus of Harper College, a kid fresh out of the New York City housing projects and public schools. Not the special schools like Bronx High School of Science or Brooklyn Tech, but the less exceptional Julia Richmond High School. I had not visited the campus before I arrived because my parents did not own a car and could not afford a trip to Binghamton. My virtual tour of the college came not through the internet, which had not yet been invented, but through brochures sent in what is today known as snail mail. My parents dropped me off at the 42nd Street Port Authority bus terminal, and with only a trunk in tow, I arrived alone for freshman orientation. By economic and sociological standards, I was poor. The admissions personnel at Harper College did not think so, though. They ignored my SAT scores, something many schools are now doing with all students. They looked at, thank God, they looked at my high school grades and activities and found that poverty did not define me. Along with a few other African American and Latino teenagers, I came to Harper in the first class of the Special Admissions Program, now known as the EOP, or Educational Opportunity Program. Harper, we didn't call it Binghamton University back then, took affirmative action to give me the chance to fulfill my potential, and I ran with it. Looking back, I can truthfully and sincerely say that Harper gave me the chance to take the road less traveled, and it surely made all the difference. Although I became a historian and college professor, I cannot say that when I graduated from Harper at age 22, or even when I got my PhD from Illinois Chicago at 30, that I knew exactly what that meant to be a historian and professor. Like you, I was young and just starting out, and maybe like you, I had all kinds of doubt about whether staying in school for so long was the right choice, or whether I would succeed at what I thought I wanted to be. I hadn't lived as a historian. No one in my family was an academic. And when I looked at the academy, there was almost no one who looked like me, for there were very few African Americans and or women to be my role model. And sometimes the isolation that came with being the first was overwhelming. Most of the people I knew were bent on cashing in on their diploma and making a lot of money, while they joined corporate America and perennially asked, "What are you going to do with a history PhD?" or "Why are you still in school?" I kept plugging away and refused to give in to the periodic academic setbacks or the very real desire to make money, or the pressures that came with balancing being a student and then professor, a mother, and a wife. In becoming an historian, I did not do the popular or the expected or the easy or lucrative thing, but I did do what I wanted to do. Today, over 40 years later, as the people who regarded me with incredulity retire, sometimes involuntarily, from corporate America or the public sector, and finally have time to do what they always wanted to do, I find comfort in the decisions I made when I had only instinct to depend on. As they turn to me and ask when I'm going to retire, I respond that I love my work, and that I'm having too much fun, and that I still have much to offer. Now that wisdom has replaced instinct and certainty, doubt, here's some advice that I can offer as you go forth into your chosen professions. First, if you are ever in a position to give someone a chance, whose potential is revealed in something other than the standards or the standard criteria for what you have to offer, act affirmatively and give that person a chance. Like Binghamton did for me, you might make the crucial difference in someone's life, and they in turn might make a difference or the difference in yours. And second, while I won't advise you to follow your passion, that advice I think has become so much the cliche, and who knows, you might have a passion for impoverishment or illegal things. I will advise you to follow your instinct. For the rest of your life, you've got to wake up in your own skin and make yourself happy. No one can do that for you but you. Having put in the innumerable hours and sacrifices to earn the PhD, you've already started down the road less traveled. My best advice to you, stay on that road. Thank you.